Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is awkward time, awkward as can be. We have gone through hell for the past couple of months, few months, and I don't see us doing or applying the type of steps that will get us out of this hell. We're acting like we are lost and confused. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say to all the young people, keep on doing what you do. Let the spirit of you lead you, and you do what you do in regards to this problem that we as black people, people of color, the poor, and minorities have gone through for 400 years. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. They are not the system, the people who are empowered in the system, they are not considering any action to eliminate these problems. They want to put a bandage on it. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, here's a typical example. Affirmative action. Black people suffered a lot. White people didn't. So to get a chance to trick black people, think they're getting something, they go and snatch some benefits from the white people, give them to the black people. Black people smile and think they got some. Not all of them, just some of them. And the white people are pissed off because they lost the same things that they had. They want them just like the black people. But now they've lost them. So there's no justice. But some people can be blind by that because all they're thinking about are themselves. But young people, don't you be blind by that. And the reason I'm saying that to you is because out of all these years and persecutions that we've gone through, out of the fact that George Floyd gave us a chance to see exactly what's happening. Don't you know that the American citizens are considering going back into the same bondage, going back with no idea whatsoever what action is going to be taken? They want to put a bandage on it, take the police chokehold off them. That didn't stop them from killing. They were killing a few days later. They were killing and beating up people. Yes, a few days later, beating them up with billy sticks. Now, that is not a people who change with compassion. Now, look at the Democrats. What are they considering? They are considering the Democratic Party with Joe Biden. There's not the only way I could vote for Joe Biden if I was stone crazy. The only way I could vote for Barack Obama if I was stone crazy. I went to the polls when Barack Obama was running, but I wrote in something for better. I wrote in my name. See, ladies and gentlemen, here's what I'm telling you. We all want to be free. God made us free. And as long as we listen to God, we will be free. As long as we start listening to somebody else, as soon as we start listening to somebody else, we are a slave. I don't care if it's you listen to somebody the same color you, somebody the same nationality as you. I don't care who you listen to. If you listen to somebody else other than God who speaks to you, you are a slave. Let me tell you what I mean. God made marijuana. I'm going to use marijuana because it's something that's on the scene now. God made marijuana. Marijuana has some benefits. Whatever they are, I don't know, but there are some. God made it. And the people to determine what benefits they get out of marijuana, just like they determine what benefit they get out of apple. And then they make a decision whether they want to use the marijuana or not. That's between themselves and God. Nobody else on the face of the earth got a thing to do with it. Them and God. But what does the law come in and say? You can't do that. Here's some power that's messing up your whole darn life. You're not living, you're existing. Now they're going to say, you can't do that. And if you do it, we're going to put you in jail. Criminal in jail, let you stay in there forever if we want to. What? You want to smoke marijuana. Now, that's your organized community, your system speaking against you. And other vices. What do your church say? Your church say if you're smoking weed, you sinning. That's what the church said. God didn't say that. They said that. They say, well, it's in the Bible. That's their interpretation. And that's not their interpretation. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Some of the craziest people in the world are people who believe what somebody wrote in a book. That's why we believe that Christopher Columbus discovered America. That's why we believe anything that we believe, because we read it in a book, or somebody else read it in a book and told us about it. And if God didn't speak to us and show it to us, prove it to us, we don't know nothing. But now you can learn from others' experience. So what am I saying to all of us? We got to stand up now as individuals, because we black people, we people of color, we poor, we minority. They are selling us out. They're ready to keep that stuff going on, because in order to stop it, you got to stand up. In order to stop it, you got to make the devil really show his colors. In order to stop it, you got to make him come out there and really start beating you. You got to make him stand up and even start shooting some bullets sometimes. But freedom is worth all of that. And so you young people, if anybody's going to really stand up, do you know they're trying to pass up now some like civil service commitment to the, I don't know their terminology just for it right now, but a commitment that you have to serve the system. Serve the system. In other words, they have robbed you, got you being a slave, and for some of you who they don't have a spot for in that slavedom, they want you to come into this service. Say you're doing something else. Come on, people. Come on. You woke up this morning with the right to be you, to do just what you were made to do. Most of you are not doing what you're made to do. You've learned to do something that you've learned. You're doing some stuff that you learned to do because it's a job that allows you to make some money. You didn't know you were a slave. You didn't know that all things belong to God. All the resources. Oil, gas, gold, silver, trees, grass, the tomatoes, cucumbers, pecans, peaches, pears, everything belongs to God. Some of these things you need to survive. Some of these things you need to just do other things, wild things that pop up in your imagination from God. And then the skills and the know-how pop up somewhere. Where? From God. And you're able to put it together and create an airplane, create a car, create a bomb, create a computer, create a telephone. You're able to do all these things. Why? Because it is what God has channeled through the system to the people of society, so that you would have to suffer for nothing, ladies and gentlemen. Just like you are in your mother's womb. With God, you are like in your mother's womb. The only difference is, in your mother's womb, it's what she does that feed you. But being free from your mother's womb, it's what you do to feed humanity, to take care of humanity in all of its various forms. Food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare is all provided for by you, by the gift that you have been given to exercise in this life, so that you got worth and value one or to another, and they respect you and love you because they need you and they benefit you from one another, the love of God being expressed throughout the land. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. You take that and contrast that with your President of the United States and what he's trying to do. Contrast that with Putin and what he's trying to do in Russia. Contrast that with this guy in North Korea and what he's trying to do. Contrast that with the whole entire world. And God is looking for some people that says, I want to live. I don't want to die and go to heaven. I've been here on this earth 70 years. 70 years. Speaking out 40 of those years about heaven on earth. Boy, they worked it in good for 40 years. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, this video, if you're watching it, if you go back and click on it and check something, you might see 3, 4 views. And people, because this is about solution. But now people all over the internet are talking about the problem. They're not talking about solutions. They're just talking about the problems, identifying the problems that everybody can agree with, and people clicking on, reminding themselves over and over and over again about the problem, and what somebody else is saying about the problem over here, what somebody else is saying on the problem over here, what somebody over here promised they were going to do, what this politician said he was going to do, what this Congress said it was going to do. This nation hasn't changed at all. You're getting all the stuff over and over and over and over and over again. If you check around, you might find a little information about what people want. And you find out that people want peace, they want prosperity, they want freedom, they want joy. They want their dreams to come true. They want to live healthy. They want food, clothing, and shelter. They want education and health care. And they want their careers. They do. They want these things. But where? Where over the internet? Where over the radio? Where over the TV? Where in what church can you get answers? No one is giving answers. They tell you what they want, but they acting like they want somebody else to come up with the answer. And that's what they're doing. They have been trained to believe that they don't have the answer. And then when someone come up with the answer, it got to jive with the system, or people think you out of your mind. You know why? Because they have learned to accept all of this foolishness. And what do they say about the truth? The truth, they say, nah, that's too good to be true. Too good to be true. How would you know? How would you know it's too good to be true? You don't know anything about truth. And perhaps that's how truth comes. Too good to be associated with the crap that exists today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really trying to hit you in the belly, wake you up. Because this is an opportunity for you to change the world. And nobody trying to stay on that old skateboard, leading on down the way. People still underpaid, $15 an hour. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? All of these tax increases that went up and the money went to the rich. And now the poor, if they want to try to live, they got to go get in debt. Get in debt, paying fees, paying interest, paying taxes, struggling just trying to survive, want to go on a vacation, got to do this and got to do that, while these other people who don't work, they don't work. You get a paycheck, they don't work. They don't deal in working because they know getting a job is nothing but slavery. They got a portfolio. They live in the markets. They deal in land and properties and investments over you. It's not enough that you're getting robbed right at the market in the workforce. Not enough that you're being robbed there. They got to rob you in everything else that you're doing. Cash flow is fine, but no, they're getting rich off of what they say, taxes and debt. 1% taxes and debt, and the rest of us out here crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm tired of us being crazy. So I'll step out front and be the craziest of all. This has got to stop. And we need the young people to do what young people do. I'm not going to try to tell the young people what to do. I'll let young people be young people. I'm not going to tell a soldier what to do. If a soldier can't take it, a soldier going to be a soldier. Let a soldier be a soldier. Let evil be evil. And let God be God. Let love be love. And I believe, beyond a shadow of doubt, love will win. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.